is the news on Honor 103.5 FM. Honor FM News. Accurate, transparent, undiluted. We go there. We bring you the news behind the news. Honor FM News. If it's new, then it's news.
Good afternoon, welcome to the World News at noon on Honor 103.5 FM. But first, the headlines. On the national scene, former President Obasanjo criticizes 70,000 naira new minimum wage. In the continent, United States and Iran-backed rebel group Houthis both vow escalations of crisis in Middle East. On the foreign scene, United States deports hundreds of Venezuelans despite court order. In business, Central Bank of Nigeria Deputy Governor seeks financial inclusion for women. In entertainment, Asake reconciles with father, takes responsibility for daughter. And Rivers United declare player Jackson Mason. And now the news in detail. I am Anulu Akpo Idowu. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has criticized the 70,000 new minimum wage approved for workers by President Tinubu. The former president described the new minimum wage as grossly inadequate to cover workers' basic needs, including transportation, food, and housing. He accused labor leaders of betraying workers by prioritizing personal interest over collective welfare. Obasanjo also criticized government officials who openly admitted to paying off labor leaders to stop agitation. While acknowledging that anyone has the right to pursue politics, Obasanjo argued that it was unethical for labor leaders to use their unions as platforms for political advancement. He proposed a law requiring labor leaders to wait at least 5 years after leaving office before participating in politics. Away from that now, the Nigerian military has carried out successful operations in Katsina State, neutralizing 31 bandits and demolishing their hideouts in 2 separate missions. In the first operation, the military engaged bandits in Maigora village, Faskari local government area, killing 12, including the top commander, known as Dogo. In a separate offensive, the air component of Operation Fansanyama launched strikes on bandit hideouts in Unguwa Goa, Hill Forest, Ruwan Godia Ward, Faskari local government area, targeting the camps of notorious bandit leaders Alhaji Gero and Alhaji Riga. At least 19 bandits were eliminated and their strongholds were destroyed. Meanwhile, military intelligence reports confirmed that the security forces right there are intensifying operations in the northwest, focusing on disrupting the bandit supply chains and preventing them from regrouping. And now to the continent, where the United States and Iran-backed Houthis rebels in Yemen are both vowing escalation after the United States launched airstrikes, as disclosed by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Sunday. This is to deter the rebels from attacking military and commercial vessels on one of the world's busiest shipping corridors. The Houthi-run health ministry said United States strikes killed at least 53 people, wounding almost 100 in the capital of Sana'a and other provinces, including Sada, the rebels' stronghold on the border with Saudi Arabia. However, President Donald Trump on Saturday vowed to use overwhelming lethal force until the Houthis cease their attacks and warned that Tehran would be held fully accountable for their actions. The Houthis have reportedly targeted shipping in the Red Sea, sinking 2 vessels in what they call acts of solidarity with the Palestinians in Gaza, where Israel has been at war with Hamas. And away from the shores of Africa now to the foreign scene, where United States President Donald Trump said he will likely be speaking with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday. Trump disclosed this while speaking with newsmen and while returning to Washington, D.C. from Florida. According to the reports, the United States President also shared the possibility of divvying up land power plant, and other assets that has been discussed in an attempt to end Russia's war in Ukraine. Trump is trying to win Putin's support for a 30-day ceasefire proposal that Ukraine accepted last week and which Putin says needs to meet crucial conditions to be accepted. Russia had demanded ironclad guarantees in any peace deal on Ukraine that NATO nations will exclude Kyiv from membership and that Ukraine will remain neutral. Meanwhile, more than 200 Venezuelans alleged by the White House to be gang members have been deported from the United States to a prison in El Salvador. And this was disclosed by the El Salvadorian President, Nayib Bukele, on social media, that 238 members of the Venezuelan gang had arrived in the Central American country on Sunday morning. However, neither the United States government nor El Salvador has identified the detainees nor provided details of their alleged criminality or gang membership. A federal judge's order prevented the Trump administration from invoking a law to justify some of the deportations, but the flight had already departed. Meanwhile, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt denied the court ruling had been violated. In business, the Deputy Governor, Corporate Services of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mrs. Usoro, has called for the inclusion of women and other underserved groups in the financial ecosystem. Usoro made this call during a presentation in commemoration of this year's International Women's Day. Usoro reiterated the Apex Bank's commitment to driving bold, data-driven policies that accelerate access to finance, drive investment, and foster a more inclusive, dynamic economy. She expressed confidence that the bank's strategic initiatives under the leadership of the governor, Olayemi Kaduso, will drive higher financial inclusion for women and other underserved groups and communities and unlock economic value. And it's still the world news at noon on Honor 103.5 FM. Kindly join us on our social media platforms at Honor 103.5 FM Ibadan. And now to some entertainment and sports stories. In entertainment, Nigerian hip-hop star Ahmed Ololade, popularly known as Asake, has reconciled with his father, Fatai Odunsi. This comes days after Mr. Odunsi accused the music star of abandoning him since his health started declining in 2022. However, in a new video, the father confirmed that Asake has now reached out to him. He further revealed that he and his son, Asake, have settled and they no more have problems. In the same vein, the father revealed that Asake has also agreed to take full responsibility for his 11-year-old daughter, Zina. And finally, in sport, Nigeria Premier Football League and PFL side Rivers United have declared Seyefa Jackson absent without official leave. Rivers United made the declaration in a statement yesterday. The Pride of Rivers said Jackson had initially claimed to be sick, but investigations by the club's medical team revealed no evidence of illness. Despite efforts to verify his claim, the player has since gone into hiding and is no longer responding to communications from the club. Rivers United stated that Jackson has joined Ojodu City FC without obtaining the necessary clearance or permission from the club for an international tournament abroad. And that's about it on the World News at noon on Honor 103.5 FM. But before we go, here is a recap of the major stories. On the national scene, we brought you a report that former President Obasanjo has criticized 70,000 naira new minimum wage. Likewise, in the continent, we brought you a report that United States and Iran-backed rebel group Houthis both vowed escalations of crisis in Middle East. And on the foreign scene, we brought you a report that United States has deported hundreds of Venezuelans despite court order. And in business, we reported that Central Bank of Nigeria Deputy Governor has advocated financial inclusion for women. In entertainment, we brought you a report that Nigerian singer Asake has reconciled with his father and promised to take responsibility for his daughter. A brought you a report on the sporting segment that Rivers United has declared player Jackson missing after investigations. For eyewitness report, news mentions and news commercials, contact the Honor FM newsroom at 0817 675 5555 or 0913 600 1035. You can also visit our website at honorfm.com.ng FM 1035.net for more information. The news was compiled and edited by Temi Tokwe Dada. Once again, I am Anu Luakbo Idowu. Good afternoon.
And that was the news on Honor 103.5 FM. Honor and